Hello everyone, I hope you all are keeping well. Today we will learn on a new topic, that is, will you, won't you? So here in this topic we're going to learn all about the multiples of 2, 5 and 10. So let's start. So first, let us understand what is a multiples first. So multiples is the product or the results that we get when we multiply one number with another. For example, I can take 2 multiplied by 5 equal to 10. So if I multiply this 2 and 5, that is 2 times of 5, we get our answers as 10. So this 10 is your multiple. That is the product or the result that you get when you multiply one number by another. You get your answer, that is your multiple. So I can read as 10 is a multiple of 2. And I can also say 10 is a multiple of 5 because we find 10 in 2 tables, that is 2 times of 5 is 10. And then we also find 10 in 5 tables, that is 5 times of 2 is 10. So 10 is a multiple of 2 and can also say it's a multiple of 5. So now we will go on with the multiples of 2, 5 and 10. Now for the multiples of 2, what we have to do is, we already know the tables of 2, right? So we will go on with this straight away with the multiples of 2. Multiples of 2, to get the multiple of 2, what we have to do is we will count on to the 2 places to get the multiples of 2. So first multiples will be 2. So when we count from 0 to 2 places, we get our first multiple as 2. So if we count on to 2 places again, that is we add 2 more, we get 4. That is the multiple of 2. 4, and then if you add on 2, you get 6, and then that's how it goes on. That is 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 3, 6, 2, 4, 8, 2, 5, 10, 12, 2, 6, 12, 2, 7, 14, 2, 8, 16, 2, 9, 18, 2, 10, 20. So these are the multiples of 2. That's how it goes on. Now, let's find the multiple of 5. Now before we go on to this multiple of 5, let's have a look at these multiples of 2. We got our multiples of 2 as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 and so on, right? So when we look at this ones place of each of this number, these are your ones place, right? Now your ones place here is 2 and then 4, 6, 8 and then comes 0 again. That means in a multiples of 2, your ones place are 2, 4, 6, 8 and 0. That means, how do we know that? If your number, it can be of any number. Suppose a number like, I'll write 28. Now this number 28, can we say this number 28 is a multiple of 2 or not? How do we know is, we have to look at the ones place. Now here your ones place is 8. That means your multiple of 2 should be either 2, 4, 6, 8 or 0, right? That means your ones place here is 8. That means 28 is a multiple of 2. So to find out whether a number is a multiple of 2 or not, what we have to do is we have to look at the ones place. Check whether your ones place is 2, 4, 6, 8 or 0. That's how we come to know whether a number is a multiple of 2 or not. Now let's go to the 5 table. So for the multiple of 5, we will count on to the 5 places. So let's count 5 first, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on. So these are the multiples of 5. So for the multiple of 5, we count on to the 5 places each time. So we get this number. Now let's have a look at this 5 multiples. We have 5 in the ones place, and we have 0 in the ones place, and again we have 5 in the ones place, and again 0. That means when we look at this multiples of 5, we find that the ones place is 5 and 0, right? So that means for a number to be a multiples of 5, what we have to do is we have to check whether the ones place is 5 or 0. For example, let's take 135. So this number 135, your ones place is 5 over here. That means this 135 is a multiple of 5 because your ones place is 5. So to be a multiples of 5, your ones place should be either 5 or 0. Now let's go to the 10 table. That is the multiple of 10. So to find the multiple of 10, what we have to do is we have to count on to the 10 places. So the first 10 count will be of 10, and 10 more counts you get 20, 30, 40, and so on. Now let's have a look again at this 10 multiples. So these are your 10 multiples, 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on it goes. So here, when we look at this one space, we find 0 in all these multiples. That means your one space is 0. So for a multiples of 10, a number should either end or the one space should be 0. For example, I can take 270. Now in this number 270, your number ends at 0, or your numbers in the one space is 0. That means this number is a multiple of 10. So remember, to be a multiple of 2, your number should end in 2, 4, 6. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. Or your one space, we can say, in one space should be 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. And for the multiples of 5, your one space or your number should end either in 5 or 0. And to be a multiples of 10, your one space should be 0. Your one space should be 0, or the number should end in 0. Now, let's try to solve some of the exercises, some of the questions from your exercise. Now, the first one here, questions. Let's try to solve this question first. Now here, what is the first question that's given here? It says, start at 0. That means we're going to start at 0 and then count on in twos. We're going to start at 0 and count on in twos. So we're going to count on to 2 places. So that means it's a multiple of 2. Suppose if we count on from 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we count on to 2 places, we get our first multiple of 2 as 2. And if we count on 2 more, we get 4. If we count on 6, 2 more, we get 6. And then if we count again, we get 8. That means these are the multiples of 2. That is, these are all in the tables of 2. So that means, count on it 2. That means it's a multiple of 2. So it says, will you say 121? Will you say the number 121? When you count on to the 2 places each time, will you count on to this 121? That's a question. So how do we know whether it will count on to 121 or not? We have now learned that to be a multiples of 2, your ones place, that is, your 121, which is in the one space, should be 2, 4, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. But this is 1. That means it's not a multiple of 2. That means we will not count on to 121. Since here, this number 121 ends in 1, not in 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. That means your answer is no. The answer is no. Why? Because to be a multiples of 2, your one space or your number should end in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. Now let's go to the next one. It says start at 0 and count on in 5s. So that means it says to count on in 5, so we're going to go for multiples of 5. Will you say 95? So if we count on from 0, and we have to count on to 5 places, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we count on to the 5 places, that is 5. Then we get 10, and then so on it will go on. So it says, count on in 5. Will you say, if you count on to the 5 places each time, will you get 95? That means the number is 95. will we count on to 95 numbers? Now for multiples of 5, we know that the number should end either in 5 or 0, or your one space should be either 5 or 0. Now in this 95, we find that the ones place is 5. That means there's a multiple of 5. So our answers here for the second question will be yes, because to be a multiple of 5, your ones place should be either 5 or 0. And then in this 95, we're getting as 5 in one space. So that means it's a multiple of 5. So we can count on to 95 number. When we count on in 5 places, we'll count this 95. Now let's go to the next questions again. Now we will start with the next question, that is question number 6 from your exercise. Now 6, it says start at 43. Now here this time we're not going to start at 0, but we're going to start at 43. And then it says count back in steps of 2. That means it says to count back in steps of 2. We are going to count back this time, not count on. That is, we're going to count from the back, that is the number 43. Now he says to count back in steps of 2. So we're going to take 2 steps back. Doesn't mean that we have to go with the multiples of 2. If we follow the multiples of 2, our answers is going to be wrong. Since it started with 43 from the back, if it starts from 0, we can go on with this multiple of 2. But it says from the back, so here, let's check whether we would say 11. That means whether we will count on to 11 or not. So we will start 2 steps back from 43. So if I count 2 steps back, that is from 43, I count back to 41. And then from here, 2 steps back again, you get 39. And then 2 steps back again, you get 37. And 2 steps back, you get 30. Now, let's count back 2 steps back from 35, you get 33. And then count back again to get 31. And then if you count back 2 times, you get 29. Now look at the sequence over here. It started at 41, and then it goes to 39, 37, 35, 33, and 31, and 29 again. Now look at this one space. Here it started at 1. From this 3, it went on to 1 space, 9 in the ones, 7 in the ones, 5 in the ones, 3 in the ones, and then back again to 1 again from 3. So from 3 is changing back to 1. Here we started from 3 to 1 in the 1 space, right? So it's coming back to 3 again in the 1 space, and then going back to 1 again in the 1 space. That means the number is alternate. The number is changing back from 3 to 1. It started with 3 to 1, and then it's coming back to 3 to 1 again. So that means if we keep on counting back to 2 places, we will count on to the 11 places. So if we keep on counting back, our number line is going to be long. So what we're going to do is, we're going to stop here, but just by looking at the sequence, it started with 3, and the one space is and 1 here, and then it's starting back, it's going back to 3 in the 1 space, and then going back to 1 in the 1 space again. So that means we can say that we will count on to 11. If we count on from 30, if we count back from 43 and take 2 steps back, we will count back to 41. That is the answers. Now, let's go to the 7th. For this question number 7 is for count back again. We're going to do the same process. Now, it says to start from 49, and then this time we're going to count back in steps of 5. So, let's count back from 49. From 49. That is 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, and 38, 37, 36, and 35. Now let's count back in steps of 5. So I'm going to take 5 steps back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to start back, and then get 44. Take 2 steps back, 5 steps back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. taken 5 steps back. Now here it says, would you say, will you say 24? Now here in this 24, you one space is 4 here. Now when we started with 9 from this 49, that is 9 in the one space, we got our answers in the one space as 4. And then when we went back, we got 9 again, back to the same number from where we started, 9. And then we're getting back to the same number again, that is in the one space. Your one space is same again, it's repeating again, that is your 4 again. So that means we can say that if we keep on counting back, that is in steps of 5, we will count back to 24, because the number is changing back to the number from where we started in the one space. So our answer is yes. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video.